What's up, y'all? I'm Josh Jayhawk Hawkins.
I'm Tim This That, and today we're reviewing episode 2 of Deadly Class, the TV series. And if you like this video, like it and subscribe to our channel, all that good stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's jump right into it.
Go right in, yeah.
The title of this episode 2, is Noise, 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 which is, of course, a
Damned reference.
Damned reference,
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I thought that was really cool. Right off the bat, when I was like about to click the episode, I saw Noise, 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 and I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's just full of punk references.
Full of,
constantly, you know.
Also, Henry Rollins' performance in this episode does feel a lot stronger. Like it doesn't feel like a cameo anymore. It feels
that's true. Yeah, he feels like a real solid character. In this
exactly.
One, you know?
So, which adds, like I was saying,
you really get introduced to him for real.
I was saying in the last episode 1 review that it really adds this legitimacy to the show. You know what I mean? Which even adds more legitimacy that he's not just this cameo.
Yeah,
he's a character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the teacher, or I guess they call him teachers. I mean,
I can't remember the exact name of the class, but it's basically the poison class, and he's the teacher of that class. And it's this specific episode where you get to see kind of these comedic things that I was talking about in the last review, especially with like Billy and Petra poisoning Victor, and whom these characters become a lot more important as the show goes on.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, right here we're still getting introduced to everybody, kind of learning everybody's names and whatnot.
And it's just a hilarious scene because you get to see how much control these teachers have in this school. You know, they basically poison him. He knows he's going to shit his pants, and he doesn't leave the classroom because Henry Rollins, right off the bat, his character says, "No way."
He's kind of like I gotta go to the bathroom. Stands up and Rollins starts yelling at him. He's just like,
and I think it was more of like the teacher's way of kind of saying, if you were foolish enough to allow that to happen to yourself.
Yeah, and that's a good point because I didn't get that at first when it was happening. I was kind of like, oh, what an asshole teacher, you know?
Yeah.
But afterward, I mean, the guy shits his pants, you know. And afterwards, I'm sitting there going, oh. You know, whatever his name is, I don't know. Rollins is his character, the teacher.
I forget.
He knew. It's like he saw them slip the poison into the drink, you know, and Victor falls for it, and it's like, man, like this is King's Dominion. We're teaching you not to get poisoned, you know. Yeah. We're teaching you to do the poisoning.
His character's name is Jurgen, but it's like Jurgen Denke, or something like that. But it's like, it's a whole thing. It doesn't matter. He's just the teacher of this specific class. Yeah. So let's go into some other stuff. I tried to keep some notes here as we went along. Once again, we see a little bit more of Saya and Maria and them connecting and stuff and their friendship, which is one of my favorite parts about the book. And I can already tell it's going to be one of my favorite parts of the show. So so that's pretty great. Also. Later on in the episode, they're at a party. And this is where you see like Billy, who's like the punk character. He has like the green mohawk. And I have to say that I've known so many Billys in my life.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. The Billy character is like the most realistic character in the whole show. Almost.
Which is so funny because he's so over the top. But I've known so many of these.
And we were talking about that before we started filming this. It's like how many we started naming our friends. This guy was like him. I was like that. You know, like in high school when I was 16, I was exactly like that character.
That hyperactive, like crazy. Character, he makes me crack up because I've known so many versions of that exact guy.
Yeah, for real.
But you get to see at this party that Billy actually has feelings for Petra, who's kind of like the goth character.
Yeah, she's a little standoffish. Yeah. She hangs out with them, like
she jams Bajas, but she's also kind of a part of like Marcus's core group of friends who
basically like the outcasts,
which gives me an opportunity to discuss the reason they are the outcasts of this is because they are what's referred to in the show as rats, in that they are first year students. They don't have a family member that has ever
like a legacy.
Yeah, they never had a family member that attended King's Dominion, and everybody else at this school is a legacy in that their family at some point has had a family member who attended King's Dominion.
Yeah, it's just like how it works with like colleges and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like your father went to Princeton and you applied to Princeton. Then you have like a legacy to fall back on, you know.
So you have the legacies and the rats, you know, and so Marcus is of course a part of the rats. That includes like Marcus, Lex, Billy, and Petra. Yeah, those are kind of the four that hang out together and that are referred to as the rats. So you get to see that Billy has these feelings for Petra, and her character is so standoffish and so uncomfortable with I guess being shown affection to, that you know, she, as soon as she finds out that Billy has feelings for her, she makes a beeline.
Yeah, she kind of like
has no idea what to do.
Yeah, she's kind of eating. She's got her mouth full. He tells her, and then she doesn't know how to answer. So she's kind of. It looks like she's got her mouth full of food, like that. And he kind of like, oh, let me get you some water. He runs out of the room to get her water. He comes back. She's gone. Because she doesn't know how to react to it.
Exactly, but she sees the character Victor, who's like the Russian KGB guy, and she sees him and immediately like runs, grabs him, and takes him upstairs before Billy can even come back with a cup of water.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I was pointing out in the episode 1 review that really makes it feel like almost like a John Hughes movie. You know, John Hughes, am I saying that? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
It almost like, you know, where you have that kind of heart-wrenching teen melodrama, you know? Where
Yeah,
it's like,
you know, when you see her walking up the stairs with Victor and then Billy runs out and kind of catches him like he's not supposed to be. It's just you feel his heartbreak because you've been there, you know.
Yeah.
Like you've been there and you know what it's like, and it's just like, oh man, that's so horrible.
Yeah,
you know.
Your heart breaks for him because you just feel it, and you know what it's like to be so young and want this person so much, and then to just see them walk away with someone else, and especially a guy like Victor, who's this big jock.
Yeah, he's kind of like the obviously attractive, like muscle guy. So it's kind of like, oh, and she's leaving with him. That sucks, you know.
Also at this party, Brian Poston.
Yeah, Brian Poston's in it. Yeah,
he's in.
And this is a cameo.
Yeah, he does. He has a few lines, but it does feel a lot more like a cameo.
It didn't feel like he would be coming back. Like I don't expect to see him in episode 3 or 4 or anything.
Okay, all right. Well,
I could be wrong.
You know, we're also introduced to a character named Shabnam in this episode, and the party's actually being thrown at his house.
Yeah,
and that's when you see Lex, later on in this episode, he finds Shabnam's mom's dildo. That is this comedically huge thing. And Shabnam's had enough at this party. And
yeah, he's walking around. He's like the nerd, you know. He's walking around spraying the walls. And this house is so dirty. What are you guys doing? Because they invited way too many people to the party.
So, you know, and eventually,
and that actually feels like the teen like movies that you're referring to, where they throw a party at the nerd's house and he's cleaning the carpet behind everybody, you know.
So, I mean, a big chunk of this whole episode is set at that party.
Yeah,
you know, you really get to see how these characters feel about one another, you know, and like how Maria's character doesn't end up going to the party because
Chico wouldn't let her.
Chico really wouldn't allow her to, really, you know,
because he had ulterior motives.
Yeah, so
that night
you really get to see how the characters interact with one another and how they have feelings for one another. And at some point, like, Saya's kind of drunk and kind of drags Marcus into the restroom, and there's a large amount of sexual tension between them. But Marcus is so fired up about something that happened in episode 1, in that he basically kills a homeless person, and Willie is taking credit for it.
And it's kind of just driving him mad.
Yeah,
it's driving him crazy
because Willie has to front so hard, you know, and he keeps hammering it into people's heads, like, I did this, I killed this.
Yeah, he's bragging about it.
Telling the story.
Yeah, he's bragging about it.
You know, over and over and over again. And it's killing Marcus because Marcus is the one who did the kill. You know what I mean? It's
not, it doesn't feel that he's mad at Willie for bragging. It feels like, dude, this is killing me. This is, I did this and it's tearing me apart. And you didn't do anything and you're just reliving it like it's some fun thing, but I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And so I think that's actually what kind of drives him so mad and makes him go after Willie in such a way.
Yeah, and then they have this altercation and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a small altercation between them, and then, Willie comes outside and he explains to Marcus, this is the reason why I have to protect my rep so hard. You know? And then we get to see another
and it's funny because I remember when I'm watching it, I'm like, God, this Willie guy, he sucks. Until that scene where he explains, they get in this altercation and Willie has to explain, hey, this is why I'm lying to everybody. And you really feel him.
Yeah, and it's really great because we get to see another animated portion.
Yeah, true. Kind of like all the flashbacks seem to be coming in the animated.
Really when they're giving these characters backgrounds.
Yeah.
So, we got to see Willie's.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to see
we
Marcus's.
saw Marcus now, Willie.
So...
And he drops this great line to him when the two of them are outside of the party talking. He drops this great line. He says, you survive your way, and I'll survive mine. And even if that involves lying to everybody, it's the only way I'm going to make it through this alive. And in that moment, I remember thinking, oh, I feel him. I'm not mad at him anymore. I feel what he's saying.
He has to do that because he has to really...
Yeah, and the party's the main...
He has to protect his front.
Yeah, the party's the main part of the episode, but you also get to see Chico and Maria, what's happening.
They have a side.
And you really get to see how horrible he really is.
Yeah.
But you also get to see how real of I guess the right word would be gangster, how real he really is.
So, the interesting thing about that is that it really seems as if he does have real feelings for Maria.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so he finds out that Maria had set him up she had set up Marcus
to fight him.
To fight Chico. Yeah. And
to kill him.
Hopefully kill him, yeah. And he finds that out and still isn't going to break up with her because to some extent, it's like he owns her. Like, I don't care that you did that, but I'm going to show you why you never will again.
Exactly.
And so he kills someone right next to her.
Like, just this close to her.
Yeah, like this close
She's
to her.
She's got brains on her face. And you literally, if you look at her ear, there's it's not just blood splatter.
Oh, there's
chunks in her head.
Like a little flash or something like that. It's a very brutal show. It's very hyper violent. You know what I mean? So you get to see that Chico is not fronting. Yeah,
but you really get to understand the characters more in this episode. Like you see a character like Maria, it's like, well, if you hate your boyfriend, why don't you just break up with him? But you really get to see why she can't. Like he kills someone and basically tells her, I know what you did, and you'll never do it again. I own you. And now you see what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
So
later on, we get to see, we were just discussing a little while ago about how Marcus did the kill.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier in this episode, Willie is explaining that he did the kill in class. Master Lin does not believe him exactly, but he doesn't know exactly what happened. Saya kind of manipulates the situation, finds out that Marcus actually did the kill. Mm-hmm. And so this is when you kind of start really figuring out that she's more kind of Master Lin's inside person in how to manipulate Marcus.
Yeah, she's kind of like feeding him information. Like she's going out and talking to everybody and then kind of relaying it all to Master Lin.
But also, when you see her, relaying this news to Master Lin, she's trying to hold things back. So
yeah, it almost feels like, why is she doing this? Like, I feel like we're gonna get that information. Like, what's her real relationship with him? Like, how is he able to obtain stuff from her?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that she just believes that that's her role, and she's just trying to do what's expected of her. I mean, she wants to be the best there.
Well, I feel like we're gonna get more of that. I think that we're gonna get more into that story.
But I think it's interesting because you can see that she wants to hold stuff back. So the whole time you're questioning whether or not she really has feelings for Marcus, or whether or not she's just manipulating him. Which is the kind of the same for Maria too.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier in the episode, when Master Lin finds out when Master Lin has this, he had given an assignment for everybody to kill someone, and when they didn't, he poisoned all of them. They had to get away. There's a whole long scene. You'll watch it, episode 2. Maria is the first person to reach the antidote. And when she does, she takes it first. She looks down. There's Chico. There's Marcus, and she gives it to Marcus first.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if she's also
she gives it to everybody.
If she's also just manipulating Marcus, why him first?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and if Saya is only just manipulating Marcus, why is she holding things back from Master Lin?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that triangle deepens in this episode. At the very end of the episode, we meet this brand new character who's just not.
It's like the episode ends and then goes to another scene, and that's how it ends.
And he's no name yet. You walk into this barn. There's a character basically who just finished screwing a goat.
Well, it's a petting zoo. It says like Mother Goose's petting zoo or something.
And you just see him. He's fully scarred up, and we end with him holding a picture of Marcus, hoping to look for him after he's basically dropped a ton of bricks on top of a police officer. Yeah. And that's how we end the episode. Is we meet this psychopath. So clearly the plot thickens.
Yeah. So we're going to come back at you guys with episode 3 another time. So if you like this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching, y'all. Take it easy.